But anyway, it's time to play PLO. In our crowdfunding funds, we have around $177. So I was thinking about, should we play some PLO10 Zoom? Should we probably play some PLO25? PLO25 Zoom, I don't know. So if any one of you is in our Twitch chat or at Pokermania's chat, just let me know what you want to see. If no one says anything, we probably start with PLO10 Zoom, because that's what we played last time when I was in my summer cottage. All right. Okay, so probably we are going to start with PLO10 Zoom. Let's see what happens. In those tables. And we're going to have just 2 tables, because we should have plenty of action. And if we get a really nice upswing, we might go to PLO25 Zoom. Or then drop down to PLO5. And as normal, when you are commenting about the hands, just make sure you say which table. 1 is on the left and 2 is on the right. And what was my hand? So when I open it in the replayer, then I can be sure that we're talking about the same hand, because we have few minute delay. On the right side, King and Queen 8, not a great one, but definitely worth calling here. If we hit something, it's close to the nuts. So from this moment, I'm happy to just call and see the flop in multi-weapon. Your left table, we have aces on button, and the reason why I don't want to 3-bet, because our hand is rainbow. Of course, we have Queen Jack, give some equity, but if we 3-bet, he puts us on aces, and then it's really hard to kind of know where we stand. So let's just turn the hand into a bluff catcher, and we go to showdown, and he has only pair of 10s, and we win the pot. In this hand, if we 3-bet, he calls, and on this flop he probably check raises, and it's an upward spot for us. And on the right table, it's an imp spot, and we have the cut shot to straight flush draw, so I'm betting this flop. And actually I'm betting the turn. Just to get value from random jack, maybe from some kind of straight draws that he might have. Because I don't think he has a full house on the flop or on the turn. On the river he might have, but he checks and he didn't have anything. He had pocket kings, and he imps and calls flop, calls turn when the flush completes. That is really, really bad. Here on left table, flop goes check through, and he bets half a pot. And if he's a regular, he knows this is a really good spot to bluff, because neither one of us should have a king. So I'm actually at the top of my range. So I call the turn. And if he bets the river, then I fold, because 4 complete straights, it's kind of bad. If he doesn't have a king, it's not a good spot to bluff, because someone might have some weak king or whatever. But when this Claudia calls, he often has either flush draw or straight draw. So we can just bet, and as we see, he has pocket queens. Probably can even bet for value. This time we had aces, but it works as value too, because no one should have a king. And if there's some changes in the quality of the stream, just let me know. It should be working fine, but you never know. And here's a typical zoom table, couple of nits. Here's a nit. Peekaboo. Probably could mark him as a red because 16 and 12. Not going to make a lot of money out of him. Yeah, I'm going to mark VPIP. VPIP, oh, should have bet 30 cents. But VPIP 16, he is quite tight. And on this flop, we have 9 high flush draws, so I'm going to bet. If he raises, I'm so happy to fold. And we have a lot of folding equity on ace high boards. And on the left, do we want to steal with complete trash? No, we don't. It's just probably with this guy, I'm going to put here light blue color, which means that he's waiting on note. So when he comes on the table, I can mark as, he seemed like a really needy guy. Okay, did he have weak flush with the kings? Let's go back. Oh, he had 7 high flush. Yeah, sure. Okay, then it makes sense. Pocket jacks, nothing else. We could steal if the big blind is really tight one, but now when he's not, we're just going to fold. And on the left table, do we want to call with queens? We get 1 PP discount. Awfully close, but I think we can do it. And on the flop, we have the cut shot, and he checks. Oh, I'm going to bet it then. And he just folds. Wow. In Zoom, a lot of people, they really exploitative lines. Like there, instead of c-betting, he just checks and gives up. So some people just, if they miss the flop, they want to concentrate on the next hand, so they just check and fold if someone bets. While if you go up in stakes like the PLO50 and normal tables, or PLO50 and play with regulars, if they check the flop, they are definitely not going to check just to give up. So it's not that easy to bet. But here, when people just check and give up on the flops, often if someone checks to you, it's not because he wants to be tricky, it's because he just gives up. And it's often worth of making a shot to steal the pot. Doesn't have to win it always. On right table, we're definitely going to have action with our... Oh. Well, I'm going to call and set mine for sure. Can make the flush, can make the straight, and if they get it in, if they have aces, we have the best equity. And now we just go with the roller coaster and hope they have aces. And they almost do. And we make the quads. Not bad. It's not bad. Where's our hand? There's. And let's see. Oh, we had only 27 pre-flop. And on the sideboard we had 46. Just one of the guys had a rundown and he had a 10 in his hand, blocking a lot of our outs. But even 27 is pretty nice. If they both have aces, then we have over 40% pre-flop, which makes it really profitable. Anonym is asking on Twitch, why do I play in PLO10? Well, why shouldn't I? The reason is that we use crowdfunding, which means that members of Pokemon Mania raise up bankroll for me, and I use that bankroll to play. On left table, German short stacker, 3-bets, bad queens. This is turbo hand in 3-bet pot, so the idea is basically to steal the blinds, and if called we have equity, but now when someone 3-bets and we have this weak of a hand, just give up. So we use crowdfunding, and today's bankroll is around 177, so it's a bit too shallow to go to PLO25. Would be 7 buy-ins. So a couple of lost flips and half of the bankroll is gone. So that's why I went to PLO10. Here we are in position 160 BBs deep with pocket jacks and king high flush. I think we can call and then see what happens on the flop. On some flops we can make moves. On some we don't. We pre-flop raise 17 and he checks this flop. This is also, but this is a regular. Would he just give up here? I don't think so. If spade comes and he checks, I definitely bet it. And now he bets half a pot. Slightly more. That if he was some kind of other player, oh dear, now we have the cat here. Not sure if you can see it. Oh, you can. Well, say hello to people at home. There. Yeah, well, he's going to join us with the coaching. He's right here. You can see it. Whee! On right table, we call the min raise and hit the pair, and on the left, it's UTG raise. I'm going to just flat call. The reason why I thought about 3-betting is because the other suit is only 10 high. If it was king high, then calling is quite good because we want to create multi-way pot. But now we just create bigger pot, and let's see what we have. I have a feeling that he might be really aggressive. And then we hit the top pair, cut shot, and flush draw, and backdoor flush draw, and everything possible. So we are just happy to semi-bluff here. He draws, which is so strange, but now we have a lot of 14 equity, so just get it in. And he calls, oh, he had 9. Wow, 9-2. Jack, jack, 9 deuce. And then he actually hit 2 pairs on the flop and just check calls. And hits pretty much the one of the 4 cards that he can happily stack off. Wow. Great play. Not sure what I'm going to mark him. I'm going to mark him as aggressive. He had 500 BB stack and he 3-bets jacks in multi-way pot, which is pretty much a suicide in the long run, but this time he made a nice profit. PLO is easy game. And we were drawing actually dead there on the turn. Here we have a neat, is he from Greece? No, he's from Ukraine. So a lot of nits around. Yeah, the cat has been on the keyboard when it's probably one of the worst times to be there. Hope he doesn't give any bad beats to us. Yeah. I'm not sure if you can hear his purring. You actually might because the microphone is so good. Be quiet. On right table we see the flop with half a BP price, and we hit the nut, so definitely have to bet in. But if someone has flush, they call 3 streets. So now we just bet. And on the river, I'm just going to put it. And he goes, he probably has a flush. If he doesn't, then I just say wow. And he had pocket fours. Oh, river call. Calling a pot size bet on the river when the straight draw even completes. I have no idea what he thinks he's going to beat. But he doesn't think probably that. He just thinks that I have a set, I cannot fold. He doesn't care what I have. And then we open up the nuts. And now just how to get most value. Well, probably just betting big and hoping someone raises. But no action. Is the 2 tables? Oh, I can put this one to here. Is 2 tables good? Or should we have more? And now we have better aces here on left table. And we just create big pot, and flop is really dry, and we have SPR of 2.5. So if he raises, I'm going to get it in. He shouldn't have that many really strong hands. He might have 8 XXX type of hands a lot. If the amount of action is good, we'll keep 2 tables. If we want to have more, then we can open 3 tables. It's just in Zoom. With 3 tables, we might have some busy moments. Queen then 8-6 is triple gap. Oh. That cutoff button definitely good for stealing, but not that. Now we have both of the opponents are unknowns. We just know that both of them have folded one hand, so definitely we open any 4. No reason to believe they are really wild ones. And we get 1 call, and we totally missed the flop. But so does he. So although we missed the flop, it's always better, as I always say, in heads up pot, if you don't have a really good reason of not to c-bet, just make the c-bet. We missed the flop, we win it. We have some backdoors. If he calls on turn, we might check back. And if he calls and turn is Jack of diamonds, we have a ton of folding equity. We can represent full house. If we check the flop, we cannot represent full house on the turn ever. Here on left table, we can 3-bet and code, definitely call. And let's see, oh, I was hoping for a free turn, because there are so many turns that give us a lot of action, I mean equity. Like over half of the deck gives us something, and when we call and he calls, he probably checks the turn. Oh, I'm going to peel the turn. He cannot raise, which is nice. And of course the turn kills our action, and now I'm just going to see what he has. And he has aces. Yep. But he has aces with a cut shot. Any turn 7 or higher gives us a lot of equity, and we have 10 outs, the 2 pairs or trips even. ace, king, queen, 6. I'm going to fold. Could have called, but king high, well, we can't see, but when we call, then it creates domino effect that often a lot of people calls, and king high flush draw is, it's good in multi-way, but it's often hard to play, and we have a dangler 6 is totally useless. So either ace high flush or the 6 is higher would have been a call. And of course someone might 3-bet and then we just enter a big pot with not that great of a hand. Oh, we have a friend on Zoom pool too. Yeah, in PLO you don't miss that often. But often, even if you don't miss it, it doesn't mean you can call. Like the flop was Jack 9 deuce. If someone has something like 9 5 5 4, he has middle pair, but it's not that great in PLO. So people will okay. Let's hope this island fly 3-bets us. Probably not when this guy calls. Flop is good for us against some aggressive regulars. Bet folding is bad on these flops, so I might even check back. Of course, it opens my hand face up, but there's nothing you can do about it. But here I bet once. I can value from kings, queens. And now he bets the river. The most hand I'm afraid is probably queens. And he adds us the king. I don't like his value bet on the river. Like what he's going to get value from. I'm not going to hero call him with any queen or jack. I might have 9, then I might have 4, so I don't like his bet on the river. Because it doesn't work as value bet and it doesn't work as a bluff. So when the bet doesn't work in any way, then it's not a really good bet. And here, ace queen 9 6 WSOT. I'm just going to fold it. The only thing that the hand has going on is the ace high suit. Here from big blind, just calling 3-betting pocket queens creates a lot of problems. And now we have the blockers. Let's turn it to bluff. Just the bet size in here is awkward because he doesn't have 100 BPs. We don't have bullets to fire 3 streets if he calls. That's going to be a sort of problem. Turn big bet with his aces when you peel the turn. You mean there with the 4s? We had around $8 to $9 and $2 bet, so we had like $6 or $8 behind, and the pot was already over $20. So, oops, missed those hands. So yeah, I think he should shove his turn, because when I call I have some kind of draws with his hands. So yeah, I think his turn shove is fine. Because he doesn't achieve anything by checking. Just getting the 4 is actually a good card for him. It burst the board and it killed my hand. Here with a 3-bet, no reason to 4-bet, never ever fold, so we just have to call and hit something, but it's not great, and he pots. Sometimes people pot with aces because they want me to be scared, but we don't have that great equity against aces, and when he pots we probably don't have a lot of folding equity, so have to fold. on the left. Let's see if we can get some. Oh, folds only 30% to C bets, and when we have the nuts, he folds. That is terrible. We have aggressive player, and we've got a cold call and 2, so we might add 3 bets just to create big pot, and the fact is that we are going to dominate our opponents more often than they are going to dominate us. But I think we can get good value by just calling and see if we hit the flop, and then we can get the money in. And we have second nut flush draw and a lot of backdoors. 10 is our pivot card, so any turn of 8 or better gives us a wrap. Here I'm going to stab. No one bet the flop. He probably has aces or a draw. I'm going to try to get some value from smaller flushes. He shouldn't have full house. And what happened? We had some problem with the internet. Oh, he had 10-5. Wow. That is so strange. Why he doesn't raise the turn. Wow. He actually has 2 pairs on the flop and full house on the turn. Yeah. Well, the idea is that if he has weaker flush, he's going to call us, and he's not going to raise us without anything. I just don't know why he doesn't raise the river. Like, is he scared of 10-9? Here we can make a big bet with aces. We get an SPR of around 1. And we can actually get the money in and hope he doesn't have aces. And he doesn't, and we probably should win the pot. Yeah, there was some small hiccup in the internet connection. Tables were frozen. And now there's huge problems. Just a second. Yeah. we have to reboot our modem. Some problems with it. Here on probably one of the last hands we can 4-bit double-suited ACs. As soon as I can sit out, then I'm going to reboot. It takes a few minutes and then we get back online and see if it's better. And here we get the money in a decent shape, but couldn't win either one of those. And I just didn't see what happened there. Oh, we can half back. Another double-suited aces. We just can't get away from the tables. Ei vielä. And now our streaming software is having some problems. Wow. So many problems going on. And we can get the money in with the nut flush draw and top pair and over pair, which is definitely a good thing for us. And oh, he had top set. And we're drawing quite thin on the turn. But yeah, that's top of his range and we have 35% against that one. So we just... No, okay. So I'm going to reboot the modem and let's see if it works any better. Okay, so see you in a bit. Okay, and we are up again. Let's have another try. Due to internet problems, we have slight problems because now our poker tracker is not up to date. It actually, because I checked my PokerStars balance before the coaching and I checked now if poker tracker is up to date and it shows us slightly more winnings than we actually have made. We have made $10 profit and poker tracker shows 16. So there's one of the lost pots that is not on my database. But don't worry, I have the exact amount, so even if poker tracker doesn't work in either of the ways, I can always be 100% sure how much we made actual money. But so you know that probably when we check the poker tracker, in the end it doesn't show what is the real amount that we have won or lost or whatever happened. And oh, the cat is here again. And now we have tables open. Well, hello. And now it seems to be working. Oh dear. Here we have aces and we can get half of the stack in pre-flop. Even if it's bad aces, against anything we are at least flipping against premium hands and against everything and we are ahead. And when the SPR is under 1, we just get it in no matter what. And let's see if he has a queen or flush draw. Oh, he doesn't have either one. Because the board ran pretty bad there. It's like you don't want to see a queen and you don't definitely want to see a spades. And he had ace king jack 7. Alright. Well, got a nice double up there. On right table we flopped the set on ace high board. I'm just going to let's see how it turns out. Because I'm going to get value from some of the hands. If it was rainbow, I might actually even check it, but I have to protect my hand against flush draws. We might raise the flop and just get it in against any draws, but probably raising is actually better than calling here. Of course it's rainbow, so we can just call, and any blank turn, 6 all over. We have a lot of value when opponent bluffs us, or if the board pairs, he might turn his hand into total bluff. So yeah, checking is fine. I'm going to open here. Here I have the stats on my HUD, or you can see my HUD down here. We have how often the player folds on small blind and on the big blind when button opens. Because those are really helpful in Zoom, because in Zoom it gets folded to you on the button a lot more often than in normal tables. This is probably a nith. It's like when I played a lot of PLO5 Zoom and I started to mark all the players, when I went to the lobby and filtered or put the players in the Zoom pool in order by the number of entries, pretty much all of those who had 3 or 4 table entry were marked as red. 8, 8, 9, 7. I'm going to fold. Here we could 3-bet for a pot when he's short, but he's so tight and it's really hard to get value. And with smaller 3-bet, someone here might go crazy. They think that my small 3-bet is never aces, so they might 4-bet kings. And now we hope he has something. We'll get some value. Or he makes a semi-bluff. But instead of doing something, he just thinks and he thinks and he thinks. And he thinks and he thinks and he times out. Yeah, this is a value bet. If you could only speak. I'm not sure if you can see it. So here here is the cat trying to participate in our PLO evenings. Actually watching my monitor right now. Table 1 or the left one. Someone limps and he bets. Definitely when we have the trips, I have to raise. And I hope he thinks it's a bluff. And then we basically make the nuts. We raise again. And I think he's going to fold, yeah. That is just the line for folding. One option here, of course, is to just call the min bet, but he's not going to go crazy. When we call, we have something, and he's not going crazy on the river, so the only chance to get value on the river is that he hits his draw, if he has a straight draw, flush draw or something. But I think with raising we have more value if he doesn't believe in our trips or full house. Here I'm going to raise just for protection, and I'm going to get it in versus this shorty. And now we make top 2, so we put it on the left. We still have the nut, so yeah, just kidding. Here we have the nut flush draw and the cut shot. It's a 3-bet pot, and he can't have aces with flush draw, so I'm shoving here as a semi-bluff. Oh, it doesn't work. And he had ding ding ding. He has 9 and something, and how can he win both? We make a straight on the other one. Oh, he had a 6-9. Oh dear. Kind of a setup. Didn't work in our favor. Here are 3-bet because we have 2 nits. We don't get a lot of value with these guys because they are not going to go crazy in multi-way, but without the nuts, and we have most of the nut out. And when we have top pair, either we check and hope that the diamond doesn't come, or we stack off, and I think he has a lot of flush draws in his range too. Straights around 4-3 is smaller portion of his range. If he has a straight, then we are drawing dead. And he had 6 deuce. Wow. Like, yeah, this is the harder part of PLO. People playing these type of hands, open from under the gun and call a 3-bet, and then call the flop with, well, he had a wrap, of course he's going to call, and just make the straight on the turn. So yeah, that's how you lose money in PLO. 2 buy-ins in 2 hands. It's just sometimes so annoying when you see these type of hands that, okay. On the right, we open against this regular, and on the flop, we block that straight, and we have the open-ender and top pair, and he raises us. He's never raising with air, so either he has some kind of strong hand, 2 pairs and flush draw set, or he has the straight. Hard for him to have blockers. Well, he can keep it. Overpair and open-ender on the left, but someone pots it. So we have only 6 out to the nuts. And not even to the nuts. We have 3 outs to the nuts. So we cannot continue. And here we cannot do anything except wait. Ace, queen, 5, they're not going to open here, and actually this poison black is no longer a nit. Well, have to change that. Here on the right, I'm going to call with this hand. Where the hell is my cat going? We had, dude. We had a discount. It's a 3-way, but one of them is a nit, which is probably not going to make huge moves. So we can see if we hit the flop. We get that 1 BP discount. And on this board we only have a cut shot. So not good enough. Oh. Don't press any buttons. And here we flop just a gut shot. So do we want to bet or do we want to check back? And I think betting is better. We can win the pot right away. If he raises, we are happy to fold. And if he calls, we can represent full houses on any pairing turns. Here on the right, we hit the top set and bottom end open-ender. Definitely bet we get value from smaller sets, and if someone has a straight, like this is really, really bad turn card. Well, let's see if he gives us the odds to draw. And if he checks, we know he doesn't have a straight. And now I'm going to... He might fool us, but he might have smaller sets too. Or two pairs, so I make a really thin value bet. Check calling is definitely an option too, but he shouldn't have a lot of hands that he can bluff the river. Some kind of 7-4 is the only hand, and we block the fours. Oh, sorry, I had a filter on my poker tracker, so it actually might be working just fine. Have to see it in the end. All these years and still I can't use poker tracker. Here we have top pair. Definitely just call, see what happens on the turn. Give him some hard time. I'm not going to fold on the turn either if he bets. And if he checks, then we can bet. We can do this with all the flush draws as a semi-bluff. We can do it for value. It's just... Why playing out of position sucks when the opponent doesn't play fit or fold poker. He opens his c-bets, and once we call on the turn, when he just checks, he kind of has to check fold. And here we can call this flop even with air, because there are so many turns that change the board, or even if the board doesn't change and he checks, we can bet for bluff. So it's often so profitable to play in position even if you don't have a hand. Table 1 we have a double paired hand. Let's see the flop if we hit the set. And we totally missed the board. And on the right table we have top pair, and now we have the nut open ender, and ding 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 gives us the odds to call. Against him I would just shove, but when he calls, if this was any two pairs I would shove, but he can stick around with overpair, and when he calls this he's not folding. Just call. And river is one of the worst cards in the deck. It's so bad that what can I can beat almost anything, but 41 cents in the pot of 5. I'm going to call out of curiosity, and he might have air, which is probably not 4 BBs currency, and he has ace 4-5. And then we can shove aces. On the left, I'm semi-bluffing or protecting my hand. And we hit the nuts, which is nice, and we have only SPR under 1, no reason to be tricky. Just get it in and see if he has the flush draw. He doesn't. Here, if he bets, it's... it's so tempting to call because he shouldn't just call with the straight. But he's so tight, can he bluff the river? Well, he can 3-bet with rundown, so he can bluff the river with missed flush draws. So I'm going to call here. And he had a straight. Wow. Well, second not straight only, but he had it. What? Now, he has the nuts on the flop. And see what happens on the flop. He opens pre-flop. And he doesn't see bet with the nuts. Oh my god. Oot hoot. Let me know when he comes on the table. Like, yeah. If the spade comes on the turn, he's going to hate his life. And then he had pretty much the nuts on the turn. Second nuts. And he still doesn't make a move. And the river, then he value bets. What a needy. Oh boy. Well, there he is. And I'm going to make a note. And here I call. I don't want to 3-bet this guy with this hand. Just call. We have a nice board coverage. And on this flop, not sure how good he is, but this raise should be really profitable. And he calls, so he probably has overpair or some kind of thing on here. But if he folds everything but trips, overpairs, probably straight draws, a raise is still profitable. And now when he calls, he has something. And I'm not going to barrel, because even his flop check range has trips in it. And he had trip fours. What a guy. Ace, queen, king, king. Let's 3-bet it because we have the ace. And here I'm going to call. We have the cut shot and some backdoors middle pair. And I'm going to call and just float. And if he checks, I'm going to bet. And he is just going to fold so much. And he bets half a pot. Oh, I'm going to fold. He's not that aggressive on the turn. He actually might have the flush. Now we just wait and we wait. And we fold, king 8, 9. I'm going to call and let's make moves post flop. We have the cut shot and backdoors. Not sure what he's waiting. When he checks, I'm going to bet. If he checks, folds, easy money. Turn doesn't really change anything, so I'm just going to barrel him off from his flush draw. Wow. Caught on the paired board with pocket 5s and 6 high flush draw. He was drawing pretty thin. And he folds the turn. So that worked. And on the right side we totally missed the board, and now we have two opponents. Against one opponent I would see bet this any day, but against two, one is VPIP 40 guy and the other is unknown shorty, probably more of a fish than a very good player, so I'm just going to check. And now on the turn we actually pick something, but the flush completes. If this was a jack of diamonds I would bet it. And then we make the set on the river, but it completes even more straights, and no one is going to fold straight, so we'll go to showdown and we win the pot. Yay. More green seems to be one of the rare friends on the Zoom pool. Nine, 7, 6, 5. Definitely we steal. But if someone opens, not going to play it. And we actually built a bottom end wrap on paired board, but I just bet to create instant folding equity. And if he raises, we are in pretty bad shape anyway. And once he calls, often these type of players don't call flop fold turn often, because they don't understand anything about equities, they just like their hand. But if these type of players call the flop, they actually can fold a lot of turns. So now we just check and see if we hit the river, and when not, I'm just going to give up. And he has either draw or overpair or some really weak hand, and he has overpair. Pocket queens. And when he calls the flop, I'm not sure if he's going to fold even if we barrel the turn and river. And then we just wait. Once more. And he seems to be really aggressive. Here we call once again, and we actually hit the wrap. And he's shorty. I'm going to pot it, create as much folding equity as possible. Now we can actually, when we hit, we can shove the turn with the nuts. And he calls, and did he have the flush draw? No, he didn't. He actually had, oh, he had the small and straight. Oh, too bad for him. On the board flop, he has top pair and cut shot, and he just check calls with the short stack. Definitely c-bet. Remove Artie please says on the Twitch chat hello to me, and how has American football games gone? Well, they have been going really great. We are on our way to playoffs unless something really strange happens. We have 2 more games in regular season. If we win either one of those, we have secured the playoff spot. And if we win both, or after we win both, then we should have the home advantage for the playoffs. There were some drop frames at some point, so now the stream is starting to act funny. once again, I have no idea why that happens. So if I was about to say that if any of you is near Lohja on Saturday, you can come to watch, but I suppose at least some of you are not even in Finland. So never mind. Here on the table left, I'm going to call, because once I call, the big blind calls. And on three-way pot, we can often hit something nice with the double-suited ace-high ran down. And I'm going to make a small raise here on paired boards. We have the 8-high flush draw that works often as some kind of backup plan, but when he bet calls, he has definitely at least overpair and a flush draw. Because when we raise in three-way pot and there's one player behind us, it's a lot more stronger, so he actually might have. Of course, he's an aggressive player, but he might have a hand this time. And if he doesn't give up on those boards often, we just make a note and adjust by raising only for value and make a lot of money out of him. And on the left table, we pick up the nut flush draw and middle pair. And he raises us. And we have $3 as backup equity. I think I can call. He can raise with a lot of hands. So I call, and if I improve enough, I stack off on the turn. Deuce is probably the worst card besides ace. Wow. That is so strange why he checks the turn. Because he cannot have any big draws. I have the king high flush draw. He cannot shove or raise the flop with any queen high flush draws. So he actually might have deuces. He might have aces. Probably not. He might have ace something. I just can't beat anything on the river. On left, we can set mine with jacks to the mini bet, and we can flop the top set. Too bad there's straight possibility. And here we 3-bet, we can 4-bet. So now we just call and see if we hit the set. And we do, and we check raise and get it in. Easy money. And he's drawing 2 outers and backdoors. And we win both pots. Here on the river, we are not going to get paid unless he has smaller set, which means he's going to pay anything, or he has a small straight and he's going to pay us. So that's why I bet big here on the river. If the 4 of hearts is like 3 of something, then we might actually even check raise. But yeah, not against that guy. But when the board pairs on the river, it's not like he's going to have a lot of hands he can call the river. Always when you decide the bet sizing for the river bet, you have to think, what is the calling range of my opponent? If his calling range is only made up with really strong hands, then you can bet big. But if his calling range is really wide, from any weak made hands to the nuts, then the smaller you bet, the or the more you bet, the stronger hand he needs to call. But in here, he cannot go on the river unless he has, well, he cannot have the smaller straight actually, so he's either going to have a full house or weak bluff catcher. And I don't think he has a full house, so definitely here, actually smaller river bet would be better. If he has any ace jack or king's queens, we want him to call. If diamond comes on the river, like 7 of diamonds, then we can bet bigger. Oh, actually we are blocking all of the full house outs. Didn't even see that we have 7 and 4 in our hands. Yeah, I should have bet smaller. Either he has a misdraw or really weak hand. So that probably might have cost us 1 or 2 BBs overall. We see a free flop on the left, and we pick up the middle pair, and he pots it. And when he pots in a limp spot, he should have something, and out of position, we don't have something strong enough to call. So just give the pot to him. And let's call with the hand, see if we hit the flop, and we do, and he checks. So when he checks, I'm definitely going to bet. And then we check, and on the river we actually have the second nut flush, but the board is paired, and he pots it. Wow, that is probably ace king. Ace is something. We cannot beat any flush. The only flush we can beat is 7 high, and no one is potting 7 high flush, and no one is potting this without something. So when he checked the flop, it was for trick this time. Poison black is Finnish, micros regular. Roman is a nit. 15 cents against really tight one. I'm going to call. Let's see the flop. Oh, it's sort of nice flop. Third nut flush and 2 pairs. And now some kind of dinosaur donks us on this flop. Let's go once and see if the turn changes anything. Oh, river is really nice. People don't often donk with sets. And neither did this guy. He has just the top pair. And he calls the turn. I'm going to bet the river. King high flush is something that we are sort of worried about here, but he might even have a straight and he just doesn't believe in my straight. I don't think he's ever turning his nut blocker into a bluff, so you can definitely have the nut flush. He's such tight that he can slow play it till the end. But if he has a set, he might make a hero call on the river. And yeah, I've said it so many times that this is the reason why I don't really donk myself a lot unless the opponent is a passive one. Because often when someone donks, he doesn't have the nuts, especially in a heads up. Like here we open pre-flop Jack 8-4, he donks. Most of the time they don't have a set. And if you want to donk, then you need to have balanced range, or otherwise the regulars are going to eat you alive. They know that you cap your range. And the problem when you donk actually with the nuts is that against most opponents you just miss a lot of value. Like if he donks here with the nuts, I'm going to fold my air. If he check raises with his nuts, he gets value from my air, because I'm going to c-bet air. So that's why I don't like to donk, and I don't believe that you need to have a donking range against or in a vacuum. Just have more balanced check raise range. Remove Artie, please. Not sure where did you knew that I'm playing American football, or have I said it previously? Here, this is a situation that his calling range on the river is really strong. It's mostly made up with flushes. So now we can bet really big and just get the maximum value if he has king or queen high flush. And at least he's thinking, so he probably has the flush. Or he's making a hero call with the set. You never know. Probably he's going to fold because he thinks for a soul, and he doesn't have king high flush, that's for sure. Probably not even queen high flush, so I think he might have a straight or a set. And he thinks if he has the balls to catch my bluff. I've seen some calculations that here, for the opponent, what is our call down range against decent opponent? So what kind of hands we call on the river? And if we think that the opponent, like if I was here, and the button is capable of barreling 3 streets with nut flushes and nut flush blockers, then I think that making a call down with queen high flush is sort of break-even-ish. So you can call flop turn river with queen high flush against regulars, and they are not going to exploit you by turning their hands into a bluff. Of course, if they only bet nut flushes and queen high flushes, then it's not that profitable. On the left table, we bet the flop, he calls, so he has something. The turn he checks river, he bets. I don't think he has a straight, so check raising the river is definitely an option, but he was such a recreational-ish player that I don't think he's going to rethink what we have. He just looks his own hand. Yeah, normally I wear American football. No, I don't. Well, I do have 1 or 2 American football jerseys, but most of the time I have ice hockey jersey or something else. But yeah, I do play American football. It's not that popular here in Finland. Or actually, it's kind of popular. We have 4 different divisions. We have divisions for men, female, juniors, and so on. So there's a lot of players, but it's not that popular in media. But if any of you is near Lohja, southern Finland, on this Saturday or the next one, come to see me fighting. And right there will be open queens, and I'm actually going to bet for protection. We have overpair, and they both fold, which is nice, because once we check, then they know we don't have anything strong. They might bluff the turn, and then we have really tough decisions. Should we bluff cat? Should we just give up? So often c-betting flop is most of the time decent option, because once you check, you kind of give up. Here we flopped the nut wrap. Crime Zone is aggressive player, but he hasn't check raised. And now he donks 14%. Not sure, but we have so many nut outs that definitely we call. Now, and he barrels the turn. And when we call the flop, our hand looks like a draw. So it's either a straight draw or it's a flush draw. And when he donks, if we think that, okay, he might not have the nuts, of course he doesn't check raise. If he has a set, we have some equity to call. I'm not sure if we even have enough, because we can value bet any rivers, and he can definitely have like nut flush draw that he donks. So here we are just going to fold, and he just, if he had a strong hand, or actually he should have a better hand than us, didn't get any value. If we had check raised, he would have made more value from us, because we would have called it, of course. So there, once again, by donking you often minimize your value. And now we just wait. I'm going to mark him as a nit. And double paired with aces on the left and kings on the right, so stereo action. We have action on the left, we have action on the right. And let's see if something happens in either one of them. On the left we miss the board, on the right we miss the board. So we give up in both. Here on the left, no reason to see bet against 3 people. And here we have only cut shot, 3 outs to the nut, so not enough. So just give up on both of them. And decent hand on right. Do we want to 3-bet or do we want to call? I think that often calling is better. We can see the flop. There's a lot more we can do, and we can use the position more when the stacks are quite high. And now no one bets the flop, so we have the top pair. So they will just bet. He is never going to check raise us. Or probably now he is, when I said that. But most of them people don't have anything that strong, and now we just become to what? If we check and turn is blank, someone bets, then we have to turn our hands into a bluff catcher, and it will be really nasty to play on the river. So once again, small flop aggression is a good option. Ace is, I'm going to bet fold here. You can definitely raise with wide range. What happens here? But the thing is that he's never raising with air, so he has some kind of wrap, combo draw, all kinds of stuff. And against that range, our bare aces is not doing great. So just happy to check fold. He has a really wide check calling range too. He can call with over pairs, he can call with flush draws, straight draws, and so on. So. And we can see the flop, and oh, we make the bottom straight, and he bets. These are one of the nasty spots. I'm going to make a raise, and if he re-raises, I can. Why we had the flush draw? Damn, didn't see that one. He shouldn't have the nuts, but he can have jack high flush. We had the flush draw, so I think check calling might be better and use our small straight as a bluff catcher. Oh, now he folds. So yeah, I just saw that we had the small straight, so with that I would be much more happy to check raise. But when we had the flush draw, we might even call. Yeah, I don't mark who's 3 or 4 tabling because that doesn't tell me anything. It just tells that they play 4 tables, but they might be recreational, they might be super nits. So my color codings are always based on the stats. And red one is tight, green one is friend, yellow one is aggressive. Well, it's make Blindstein very easy. Well, the thing is that it doesn't tell you how often he folds on the blind. Well, there are some 4 tables that have VPIP 70 even. So it doesn't tell you how many tables they are playing, that how tight they are. When I mark red one, I know he's a tight one. And then I know they are going to fold a lot. I even have the stats here, how often they fold. Button open. Now, Russian guy 3 bets, and he probably has aces, so the question is, can we call? We can call for set mining, but there's going to be a 3rd player that can give us more value. So it's really close. Without this one, I would have folded, but now he brings some money to the pot. And we can see the turn. I'm not going to bluff. He's not going to check fold his aces to 1 bet. And I just give up. And here you can see among the 4 tables we have green player and we have a yellow player. So among 3 tables we have another green player. So by just checking the table number, it doesn't tell you anything about their playing style. It's just that they play more tables. So I much rather use the hot stats. If someone is playing 4 tables, we should have 20 hands on him in no time. And then we can see. Here 30 hands, we know his VPIP is 14, so we can open any hand to steal his blinds. And here our VPIP is 17. Folded 3 out of 5 times on big blind versus small blind open. Would have opened any 4 against him, but now we just give up. Oh, there was this Carlos who was 0 VPIP out of 23 hands. 6-5-4-3 under the gun, no good. If all the opponents behind us were tight ones, we might even consider opening, but there were a couple of regulars. Those small rundowns, out of position multi-way pot, that equals problems. Here I folded Jack Queen 9 type of hand. Not much, or not enough potential in multi-way out of position. sort of borderline. If it was double suited, definitely play. But most of the time, if you just don't enter the pot with marginal hands out of position often, it means that you will have a lot less of those really, really tough decisions. Here, actually, we actually make the hand, and he calls the flop. I'm going to check and induce. If he was folding the flop, he's going to bet here. And I think check calling gives best value. Yeah, he had only. I don't even understand his flop call when he doesn't really have a lot of equity. He should have raised the flop if he wants to make a move. On the left we have overpair and open ender, and turn pairs the board. Let's barrel. And on the river we check call. Let him bluff. And he had just a 9. And he did exactly what we hoped him to do when we checked the river. He would not have called the river if we bet. But now when we check, he turned it into a bluff. And that's a really bad bluff. If we check the river with any better hand, we are definitely not going to fold it. At least we shouldn't. On the left he calls the flop, so yeah, then we just give up. And he had only a check. Oh dear, oh he had a cut shot too. Yeah, definitely call. Well, he's our friend now. And here we pick up the wrap. And I'm going to bet, oh, he donks for a pot. Well, I don't think we have any other option than just fold. And if he always donks those boards, and we always fold, yes, it's exploitable, but we can quite quickly see if his donk percentage goes up. And if he always donks, or if he donks too much, then we just adjust and he's going to lose money anyway. Trusito says the small rounder with flush draw or not doesn't make any difference. I'm not sure what you are referring to. At least I can't remember any discussion about small rundowns with flush draw or not. We still have around 15 minutes to play. Let's see if we can pick up any spots. Here on the left we have quite nice stealing situation, 2 tight ones, but now some recreational high limps, so I'm giving up. If that result is referring to multi-way pots like opening from under the gun, yes, from under the gun it doesn't matter if it's rainbow or double suited, because pretty much every time when we enter the pot from under the gun, when we open hand from under the gun, we should be prepared to play a multi-way pot, because that happens most of the time when we open from under the gun. On the left we call with just the idea of making moves, unless we hit. Well, luckily we hit the set. And then 7-5 rainbow and he just check folds. That is so strange, because opening out of position and giving up if not hitting a strong hand is just wasting money. So under the gun, when we open, we should be prepared for multi-way pot, and in multi-way pot, small flush draws are often no good. They can increase some equity, but if the board gets big, then 5 and 6 high flush draws are mostly useless. And on the left, we open, miss the board, see bet, win the pot. Easy money. And here we have another nit. And no idea of the opponents, but no, I didn't. I said I would open Queen Jack 9, 6 or something, was it? I would call. It was not open, it was about to call if it was double suited. Interesting spot on left table and half a pot bet. I raise it. He made a mean 3-bet. And now when he calls, it looks like he has the nut flush a lot of times. We actually made 2 pairs, but he should have flush, queen high flush. But there, half a pot c-bet is the standard, and if he folds everything but the sets and flushes, we make super profit. And now the same guy, yeah, we 3-bet with this rundown. Calling is not good, we don't want to play multi-way pot, we want to isolate. And in a heads-up pot, this hand is really strong. And then we hit the middle pair and the wrap. Get semi-bluff, and he just folds. Yes, you did misheard. I was referring to Queen Jack 9 something. It's a good rule of thumb that from under the gun, when you decide, do I want to open or not, first see, does the hand work in multi-way pot? In multi-way pot, you want to have as much nut potential. Nut flush draw, at least high flush draw, high cards, high straight draws. If you have a gap, the gap is on the bottom, and so on and so on. We flop the nuts. No redraws. Well, yeah, no redraws. So let's wait for value and see what happens. Of course, half of the turn is bad for us. 8 is decent for us. I'm going to bet. Because we have trips. And that's something that I didn't want to see. Okay, so now the question is, does he have the pocket tens often enough? Or can he make this as a move? We have, if he has 8-6, then we have some out. I'm just going to get it in. Oh, he had pocket tens, that sucks. The thing here is that, oh, we did get called here, nice. The thing here is that I bet the flop, I represent straight, and then on the turn, if I have the bear 7-9, I'm going to fold it always. So the only question is he capable of turning his hand into a bluff if he has some kind of Jack 9 with diamonds, or if he has 7-9 himself that he just calls and want to force me out of the split pot, and so on. And when we have the trips, if he has pocket 6s or 8s, we block the 8, then we have a lot of equity against him anyway. So if this was 10 of hearts, then I would probably just bet fold happily. But here it's so awkward. Of course, sometimes he has pocket 10s, but we block 8. 10-8 is not that probable. And if we think that if he can have some kind of draws in his range, then I think stacking off is fine. And here he donks the flop. Bets the turn smallish, bet the river smallish. And we have top 2. And he had, wow. And here he donks the flop with 6 high flush draw and cut shot. So if the turn doesn't help him, what does he do? Check fold. So that's why donking is not that good. And now we just wait some more. Until something happens. Here on the left, if there's a lot of callers, we can enter multi-way pot with pocket queens. But, nah. Here we 3-bet to isolate, and we can code 4-bet from Funny Guy, and we can raise. Wow. We are so deep, but if they both have aces, we have a ton of equity. And let's see what happens. And they do have, which is nice. And let's see if we actually make the nuts, and we won a pretty nice pot there. Woo! Let's see what was the pre-flop equity. Our flush draw was dominated. So that's no good for us, but we have, 24. Wow. Oh, they had queen, they had 10, they had 9, they had our flush draw. Well, that was not, well, of course it's nice to win. I'm going to check it on equity calculator against range of aces. Because we should be in a pretty good spot. And now once again someone donks, so they have something. I fold. If he would have check raised, he would have get money from my air. So once again donking minimized his value. What we had here, we had jack, then queen, king. Oh, actually we had 35%, 36% equity pre-flop if they both have range of aces. Because actually the thing is that on left table, I bluff the turn. When he calls, our pocket 9 or pair of 9s win if he has a draw. If he doesn't, if he calls a turn with kings, aces, queen, he's not folding the river ever. And he had kings, he would not have folded the river, but playing kings that way is going to probably lose him money. So the problem with king, queen, jack then is that one of our straight outs are dead because all 4 of aces have been gone. So if that king of hearts was actually 9 of hearts, then we would have a couple of percent more equity and they would have less, but still the best equity. But now they were blocking a lot of our stuff, so we had only 24 on the main pot, and on the 150 VP side pot we have 33. So of course their actual hands, the play was not good against their ranges. It's decent. Slightly plus EV. And with 100 BB stacks, it would be definitely be plus EV because we had 3-bet and we have put almost 10 BBs to the pot already. Now when we were super deep, it doesn't matter that much. Here on the left, we have some kind of unknown guy, and we have jacks and spade draw. The thing is that if he has ace or king, he's not going to fold it. So I'm going to check here. We don't have to be worried about a lot of turns. Just a second, have to answer this. Here we fold, and now I'm going to actually bet for value protection. We might have calls from flush draws. He's probably not going to fold much, but when he just kind of says to me that please take the pot, I cannot resist. We are probably running a lot over EV because if you remember at the beginning of the coaching, we won a huge pot with two pairs. Two-pair hand. We made the quads when it was pre-flop all-in. Kind of similar situation. And we have just win both of those. Then we thought that both of the opponent had aces, the other one didn't. And our equity was really bad and we won a high pot there. Our actual equity was 24 and we screwed the pot. So probably running way over EV. Kind of interesting river. Do we value bet or not? Well, he's a green one, so I'm going to value bet and get call from jack high, then high flushes. And when he check raises the river, I'm pretty sure that he actually can have a full house. So now we just bet fold the river. Check calling is another option, but when this kind of really call happy player had high VPIP, big stack, likes to call, you might call the flop with any flush draw and just call the turn and then call the river when we bet smallish with any flush. But he's definitely not going to raise with bluff because we can easily have pocket tens. Of course, so can he, but on the right table, bottom 3 bets, and we are 260 BPs deep. Definitely we cannot fold. We call and see if we hit something really strong. And on this board, we don't. Clock is turning 11 here in beautiful Finland. So we're going to end the stream in just a couple of orbits. Another double suited aces. Let's see what happens. And flop is interesting. Well, half a pot c-bet. Hope someone makes a light call, turns their hands into a bluffs or so on, but no action. Boo. On the left, against shorty, hand is decent, definitely call. And if we hit the flop like here, we can often stack off with check raise. Hope he c-bets and he pots, which is nice. And I hope he calls. because then we can pretty much get the money in against both of them. Oh, what a tight one. And he has the flush draw and something, and he wins the pot. Flush draw and open ender. Here I'm just going to call. We are 250 BPs deep, so I don't want to 3-bet. And if I get the money in with aces versus aces, we are often slightly under 50, because he might have stronger aces. And if we 3-bet, he's such a tight one that he puts us on aces anyway. So it's hard to get value after 3-bet. King 5 4 is such a bad hand that mean bet or what. If he raised any bigger, then I would just fold. And he puts it. Well, let's call and see what happens. 5 is really good because it makes the board really scary. So we can definitely bet and represent we had a straight, and I'm going to bet the river. He shouldn't have straights that often. And he should, if he has like overpair and flush draw, he should just fold it like that. So once again, out of position. One of the problems being out of position that a lot of times you have to open your hand face up. Like here, he bets the flop, and once he checks the turn, if he has a straight, checking means that if I has a flush draw or something, I can check back, and he will have a tough time on river. If it pairs, makes a bit straight, flush completes. So he shouldn't really check his straight on the turn. So when he checks, I know he doesn't have a straight. If he check calls, it's quite obvious that he has a weak made hand or a flush draw. I can barrel the rivers, so he has to decide if he wants to bluff catch the river or not, and so on. So that's why opening a lot from the small blind versus decent big blinds is really hard to be profitable. And that's one of the most common mistakes when hold'em players come to PLO. They think that they can open any hand from small blind, and even if the opponent calls, they think it's fine because the opponent has a wide calling range. Well, today I have been calling these small blind opens with around 90% range, and none of them would have done anything against me. So even if they know my range is 90%, you cannot go crazy on these boards. Or of course you can, but it's probably not profitable. So most of the money comes from bluff catching, and it takes balls. Here on the left table, he calls the flop, so I'm just giving up. Against unknowns, no reason to believe that they are making moves. Yeah, some people float the flops with air, but in PLO10, that is really, really small portion of the player pool. If crime's on 3-bets, I'm probably getting it in. Because, let's see, 5 3-bets out of 35. Yevgen, 3-bets out of position, all kinds of ace-high hands. 100 BPs deep, yeah, definitely get it in. On the left, we make the set. Let's raise, let's see what happens. Now he shoves, or he can shove his whole range. Let's see if our hand is alive. And we win both pots here, and he has, he had aces, that sucks. Well, at least we won $4. But here we have to play against the range. And his 3-bet was around 8% or something. So he can definitely 3-bet a lot more. And we had information that he 3-bets, especially out of positions, all ace-high, rundowns and hands. And of course against aces then we have some equity. Now he is blocking our flush draw, he is blocking our straight draws and so on, so it's kind of hard. And on the second board we made trips, but the guy who enters the board with seals 4, 3 deuce rainbow just wins the biggest pot. That is so funny. Worst hand always wins. I think now it's time to sit out on the big blind and see if we made a profit or not. We have a big stack here, but we have lost quite many stacks too, so I'm pretty sure that our EV is negative, but we have run so hot today that we might actually have made some money. Interesting. So if you want to make guesses, what's the profit? Now it's the time. Probably one of the last hands. Isolate the limper. And let's see what happens. Limp call is a lot of times from these type of players kings, queens, jacks. Or something weird. So I'm quite happy to bet here. We are the one who has aces in range, so if someone raises, they definitely have us beat. Oh, now the table froze. Now why it happens? Because now the problem you just saw that half the table froze. It's due to the streaming software, but it has worked fine for over an hour now, and suddenly it doesn't work. I have no idea why that happens. Not sure if it can be my computer that when I stream slightly over hour, my computer doesn't have the capability. Not sure. But let's see, where did our graph end? Wow. I'm going to show you the graph because this is well, here it is. I don't have a word. Basically we have been going down, and here way down -3 buy-ins in few minutes. Of course this saved us, and we ended up almost 3.5 buy-ins up while our EV is -30. But probably let's see, because I think that in the big pots, yeah, here are the ones. The one where we won $40, our EV is -7, which is actually quite strange. Well, of course, they were blocking all of our out, so our equity was not good enough. And the other one, where we had 10, 10, 7, 7, and we went pre-flop all in, our EV is minus. Also, against the ranges, it's plus EV. But now they were blocking our 10s, so we actually had only a couple of 7s in the deck and some draws. So where did we lose the money? Yeah, here drawing dead. Here drawing really thin. Yeah, it's the trips. Not sure about that. Might actually be a fold. Well, and here, yeah, he had. This is not the hand. On the flop, he had pocket nines. He had a queen nine. Oh, nine deuce. Yeah, this is the sick hand. Like he three bets, call three bet against three people. UTG opens, we call button calls, and from the big blind, he makes cold three bet with Jack nine deuce, which is probably the worst thing I have seen today someone does. And he had two calls and flops, bottom two pairs. And on the flop we had 65%, we had him on the flop, and we bet, and he just calls, leaving 80 BPs to 122 pot behind and spikes 4 outer on the turn. Wow. And we were throwing dead on the turn and put the money in as dead, but the money should have gone on the flop and we should have been a lot higher on the EV. So here you can see that even as the EV is closer to truth, it's nowhere near the truth, because if he had just raised the flop with two pairs, which he should have done, our all-in EV is probably slightly higher here. Instead of having minus 11 on that hand, it would be somewhere around plus something, so it would be at least 15 higher. It would be minus 15. But here it's minus 30, so it has some flaws, but not as much as this total winnings. But hey, running 6 blinds over EV. Haven't had these type of sessions in coaching for a long time. Probably not ever. But thank you. Sorry for the small break in the middle when technical problems arise. Let's hope that next week when we have the Finnish evening, everything would be better. Thank you all, and let's continue the discussion on the forums. And if you're watching this on YouTube, please join pokermania.com/forum so you can join the chat right away. Now have a good night and bye bye.